So, before we understand what a business case is, when it is developed, when it is verified, and how its benefits are confirmed, let's look at outputs, outcomes, and benefits. What are outputs? The project's output is any of the project specialist products. The things we hand over during the project or at the end of the project. The project's outputs enable business changes. If you remember, in the introduction sessions, we identified that one of the characteristics that distinguishes a project from business as usual was that projects are the means by which we introduce change, and business changes create the desired outcomes. What are outcomes? Outcomes are the result of change derived from using the project's outputs. And how do we measure if whether we have achieved our advantageous outcomes is with benefits? What are benefits? Benefits are the measurable improvements resulting from an outcome that is perceived as an advantage by one or more of our stakeholders. It must be remembered that our desired outcomes and business changes can also cause side effects and consequences which could result in further benefits or disbenefits. What are disbenefits? Disbenefits are outcomes that are perceived as negative by one or more of the stakeholders of the project. They are actual consequences of project activity. Another thing that we must remember is that disbenefits are different from risk. Disbenefits are actual consequences of an activity, whereas risk are uncertainties related to the project. We'll discuss more about the differences between risk and disbenefits in our section on contents of business case. The benefits of a project should help deliver back to the business and help the organization achieve one or more of its strategic objectives. Now, let's look at the outputs, outcomes, and benefits with some examples. A project was to create a new playground on the basis of wasteland that we have identified around our housing estate. The project's outputs would be the completed playground with all the swings, slides, and other things that have been specified by the users. The playgrounds will introduce change. The housing estate will be different from what it would have been if we had left it alone. The desired outcome will be happier residents. Especially parents with young children will feel we are doing more to cater to their needs by giving them a fun, clean, safe, and bright space in which they can spend time with their children. This will also contribute towards a healthier community. If we had customer engagement surveys from before the development of the playgrounds, and we did a survey post the creation of the playground, we would have the data to measure if we had achieved an advantageous outcome. For example, residents on the last survey scored our organization an average of 5 out of 10 for how happy they were. We hope to raise this from a 5 to an average score of 7. If we achieved a desired score, it will help fulfill our commit engagement strategy that states that we must make our area a place where people are safe, healthy, and happy. Thus, project outputs enable business changes, which create desired outcomes, which in turn are measured in benefits. The benefits help achieve one or more of our strategic objectives. What about these benefits now? What could be perceived as negative about our work? There will be noise and disruption during the building works. The perception that at night notorious gangs may start hanging out in the playgrounds. Maybe there are people who do not have kids, and they may be wondering why we are spending so much money on kids and their entertainment. Instead of a playground, these people may want the money to be spent on some activities that would be of interest to them. So, these can be some of the disbenefits of this project. Now that we understand what outputs, outcomes, and benefits are, let's look at the types of business case. There can be projects that are undertaken to meet a legal obligation or to comply with organization's policies. These are compulsory projects. Therefore, the reasons of undertaking a project can vary enormously. Projects can add different objectives. These objectives will be measured differently depending upon the type of project. Consequently, there are different types of business cases associated with different kinds of projects, such as compulsory projects, nonprofit projects, evolving projects, customer-supplier projects, and multi-organizational projects. Some of these projects may be measured in SPIL, your return on investment, but others, such as compulsory projects and nonprofit projects, may be measured on non-financial benefits and avoidance of penalties. But regardless of the type of measure being used, the question that remains is, for this level of investment, are the anticipated benefits more desirable, viable, and achievable? We'll discuss this in more detail in Chapter 19, Tailoring PRINCE2 to Project Environment.